In today's video, I'm going into how we create our reality through our beliefs. So thank you for joining me. I'm AmyC with You Finding You. I'm an intuitive and transformational coach. And if you take a look in the dialog box below, you'll see that I have links to my Patreon and my coaching program. But in the Patreon right now, we're going into getting in alignment in yourself. And as well with today's, in this series on You Create Your Reality, it's knowing you create your reality and then you align to it. You get into that place of knowing and being able to create your true desires, your true dreams, and being able to step into it and be and maintain alignment. So again, do check that out in the dialog box below. So continuing on the theme this week of you creating your reality, in the previous video, I was talking about our thoughts and our perceptions and how those things create our reality, and having differing places in it, you then shift and change how you see things. And today I want to go into how your beliefs, those deeper core beliefs that we have ingrained in us or through our society, through our family, through growing up, these deeper beliefs then also create and shift our reality. So in my case, I grew up in this feeling in myself of never being good enough. Like I never was enough and I never had worth in myself to actually believe in myself. But what it ended up doing for me then was that I always was chasing after something bigger, something more, because I thought I would get enough when I actually attained those things. So I was trying to prove to the world, like I was going through this process of like proving to the world, to myself, to everyone around me that I was good enough. So I ended up creating a life where it was like I was always chasing after something. I was always doing and like, oh, I got to get this title. I got to work on the next big film. I have to do the next big thing. And then I will be good enough. So there was this underlying core belief in myself that I wasn't good enough. And so at some point, somewhere, I would be good enough and I would attain that by doing these things. So that core belief created and drove my reality. And I say I drove it, but actually that was a belief in me. So that was something in me that it was underlying all these layers of things that I didn't really know about or didn't really see, even though I could say that I didn't believe I was good enough. Like I knew that at like a surface level. But as I got deeper and as I started to learn things about myself, it really came down to I needed worth in myself. I needed to find it from within me rather than seeking out all these things outside of me. So as I gained this worth in myself, then my reality shifted. Like things around me changed because I was coming from a different place in myself. Like I no longer had to chase after the status or the titles or these big things to fill me up, to make me feel worthy. Instead, I had the worth within myself. And I then was able to start pursuing things that I really truly enjoyed, really truly brought passion and brought things out of me, rather than previously I was seeking for the joy and the things already out, like outside of me. It wasn't inside of me. Anyway, I share these examples because that core belief really was what then created my reality. It really was then how I lived and shifted and was in the world. So also, if you have like wounds from childhood of like parents that rejected, or they didn't reject you, but they just didn't, take care of you and they didn't do things along those lines, you'll have this wound in yourself of rejection and then fear of it happening throughout your life. So, because you have this feeling or this fear, you don't want to be rejected, you'll do all these things around you to not have it happen in your life. So, you might not even be aware that you have this underlying, fears or concerns. And that's just one example of this rejection. You can have other things as well. And like for myself too, it was around the opposite side of rejection of being accepted. Like I truly wanted acceptance from others. So I would mold and shape and fit myself so that I would get acceptance. And so I always was, being something different to gain that acceptance. Again, it's this underlying belief, these things that we have in us, and then that creates and shifts our reality. So take a look, like what are things maybe you say to yourself? And for myself, it was I always wanted acceptance, or I felt and I knew I wanted something, like I wanted to be liked, I wanted to belong. And also I knew there was something about not good enough. And so it's like on that level, I kind of knew certain things about myself, but actually going deeper and seeing how it shifted and created my reality, I didn't really realize until I started to dig deeper into what those beliefs were in me. So again, looking deeper, you could ask friends too, close ones, people you really trust and feel good and know that you have a good relationship with, of like, are there core beliefs that I maybe am unaware of? That these friends, people can share with you so that you can gain the awareness. Because once you know, start to see, you can actually go deeper in and start to explore what are my core beliefs, and then see how those beliefs shift and change and create the reality around you. So thank you for joining me today. Again, if you are enjoying and getting value out of these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe. Thank you again. I'll see you in the next video.